Hey yo, what is up? My name is Ishan. You're probably busy, which is perfect because on this channel we like to keep things short and sweet. No fluff, just short and value-packed videos. So in the next few minutes, we're going to be going over NIO's plan to go global. We're going to be going over whether it makes sense and if it's a good or bad thing. So make sure you've subscribed because unlike any other YouTuber on this platform, we don't waste 10 to 20 minutes of your time. So subscribe and let's clock in. So yesterday we heard from William Li, who's the founder and chairman of NIO, who said that they plan to go global starting in the second half of 2021, beginning with Europe. He said, quote, "We hope in the second half of next year we can begin making some preliminary attempts in some countries that are more welcome to electric vehicles." Does this really make sense? Well, as always, let's take a look at the facts and the numbers. In 2019, around 1.2 million EVs were sold in China, only a 3% increase year over year, and the US EV sales dropped 12% in 2019. Meanwhile, in Europe, sales rose by 44% to reach 590,000 units. So while the rest of the other major markets like US and China have slowed down pretty drastically, Europe has continued to stay moving forward and stay consistent in their growth. But what makes this even sweeter is that car manufacturers must achieve a fleet average CO2 emissions representing the equivalent of 57.4 miles per gallon by next year, which increases to 92 miles per gallon average by 2030. If you know anything about cars, which by the way I do not, this is apparently really hard to achieve, basically making it mandatory at that point to go EV and electric. And so while countries like China are rolling back EV incentives, countries like Germany and Europe still has very high incentives, and as a result we can see companies like Tesla moving into there to build factories as well. So all the signs are really pointing that this is a smart decision for NIO, but is it really? Let's go over the positives first and then the negatives at the end. On the surface, the numbers look really good, along with the tax incentives many European countries offer, combined with NIO's battery as a service business model, which would make the car significantly cheaper and allow them to undercut their competitors. It seems like a no-brainer for NIO to go into Europe. It will be a model never seen before, and people will literally save thousands of dollars not only through the government but up to $15,000 on a NIO car just by leasing their battery instead. And this as a result will not only help NIO's consumers save money but NIO as well. And anyways, if you watched my last NIO video which did insanely well, and let's try to beat that, so go ahead and like. I talked about how the competition in China was actually good for them and how their services like NIO Power, NIO Houses are actually helping differentiate themselves and add exclusivity to their brand and also help them remain qualified for tax incentives. And so right now there is currently no other EV manufacturer doing what NIO does in terms of this branding exclusivity and to differentiate themselves. The International Energy Agency is expecting EV use to rise from 4 million vehicles in 2018 to 120 million by 2030 to 7% of the global car fleet. The growth is insane, and there's so much opportunity that people keep forgetting. Sure, growth is slowing, and that is bound to happen, but thinking about the entire world, there's just so much opportunity for NIO, and in a market like Europe, it just makes sense that there they have a huge amount of opportunity to make a ton of money. Now for the negatives. And look, we can't just look at all the positives and just forget the negatives and just shove that into the corner. We gotta consider all the risks for the reward. By focusing on foreign markets, I believe that there are two things that will hurt NIO. The first is their deal with the Hefei government, which is one I never liked, and here's why. NIO sold 24% of its company to essentially the Chinese government, which is giving them voting rights to various significant corporate matters of NIO Anhui and its controlled entities such as NIO Anhui's corporate structure, change of its core business, and amendment to its articles of association, which NIO says may significantly limit their ability to make certain major corporate decisions with regard to NIO Anhui. Now remember, NIO Anhui is different from NIO China. NIO China contains all of NIO's Chinese assets, and NIO Anhui controls NIO China and all their foreign and rest of their business as a whole. When you're a company that's given the Chinese government this much control, plus you store users' data from when you use their car, that, my friend, could be a problem. Initially, while I don't see this as being a problem, I definitely believe that down the line they could face regulatory action based on all of this, especially in the United States, where I definitely don't see NIO having a shot at all of operating over there, and really don't believe that's where they should even attempt to go. And the last and final negative is that it will hurt NIO's finances. Last quarter, they declared $1.6 billion in cash on hand, enough to last in the next 12 months, but also a whooping $4 billion in total liabilities. This is a company with so much debt that still hasn't even reached their full potential in China, and that is looking to expand to other markets. And look, when Tesla started, they had virtually zero competition in Europe and anywhere else in the world, and now their sales are even falling over there. And sure, as I mentioned, their brand and different way of doing things will interest people, add exclusivity, but in the market of Europe, where there are just so many competitors just like in China, I believe it will be really hard and expensive for NIO. So let me know down below what you guys have to say. I definitely believe that expanding into Europe will be a good thing for NIO, but it's going to come with a lot of difficulties and challenges, especially regulatory and financially. So let me know down below what you guys think about their plans and if they can even pull it off. And make sure you've subscribed. We hit 1,000 subscribers, on our way to 10,000, 1 million, who knows? So subscribe, like, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Clocking out for now. Peace.